Hey there, Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett. Welcome to another episode of the Mayor's Table. Today I'm at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter with our Regional Animal Shelter Director, Stacie Voss, and we're actually in the medical building in the surgery suite. Yeah, and we've got Thelma and Louise here with us. Stacie went out and found the cutest puppies that she could possibly find to guarantee that I will take one home today. So, great job, Stacie.
It's my job. It's what I do.
That's what she does best. So we wanted to take a moment just to kind of reflect on the animal shelter now as we look at, I think we're almost 5 years that we've opened the new shelter and had a new mentality towards the treatment of animals in our community. A real focus on their welfare, not just on trying to put them away, I guess. I mean, really trying to find positive outcomes for them, whether we transfer them out of the center, adopt them out of the center, and all the different ways we can find to match them up with a new owner and a home for them. So, Stacie, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the things we've done this past year as a shelter. Also show off these puppies as a great way to say they have a tremendous amount of awesome dogs right now.
Yes,
so.
Always.
Yeah, so this past year, I mean, when we talk about improving the lives of animals and putting positive outcomes, give us an idea of how many dogs are actually brought in each year, how many are adopted out. And I say dogs because we have dogs here, but also cats and other animals are also brought to the shelter.
Right, so we take in about 7,000 dogs and cats a year, and that's pretty much evenly split between dogs and cats. And then we also take in a variety of critters or others. We've had everything from pot-bellied pigs to goats to guinea pigs to rabbits to who knows what. So we take in about 7,000 a year, and we've been at that level for quite a while. It hasn't really dipped or gone down any, but it hasn't gone up really either, so that's good.
Yeah.
This last year was actually a really good year for us. Our intake was up just a little bit, which is always a bad part. We would rather the intake be down.
Sure.
But our euthanasias were down, our adoptions were up, our transfers were up, our return to owners were up. So all the positive outcomes were up and all the negative outcomes were down.
Well, that's good. And so you mentioned like guinea pigs and goats. And I mean, do you keep them here in the shelter as well?
Yeah, the livestock are not so comfortable here. It's not a place for livestock. You know, we only take them in on emergency basis usually. But we have a special room for the critters, and we have cages set up for the critters and things like that. So if they're small animals, we're set up to handle those. If, like I said, the livestock aren't too comfy while they're here, but we take care of them as best we can and hopefully either get them back home or get them adopted right away.
Awesome. So about 7,000 intakes a year. Now, if we look at outcomes, how many of those are adopted? What percentage are adopted or transferred out? And what are kind of the methods that you're using right now to market the animals and work with transfer companies?
So we had, this past year, fiscal year, we had over 2,600 adoptions, which is amazing. Wow. So pretty much with the history of the shelter, they had never hit 2,000 adoptions until we moved into this new building. When we moved into the new building about 5 years ago, we've hit that 2,000 mark pretty much every year. So,
wow.
And the 2,600 was more than we had ever done. So that's amazing that we had that many more adoptions and that many spayed and neutered animals in our community.
That's a big increase from 2,000 to, well, even not 2,000, but to 2,600. That's a big increase.
We've gone up every year.
I think it makes a big difference to me, at least. Location, obviously, of the facility. It's out there in the open. More people can see it. But also, it's cleaner. It's a nicer environment when you come in. You see how well the animals are being treated, and I think it changes people's perceptions of what they view what an animal shelter is, especially here in our area.
Yeah, it's not a sad place
right.
at all. It's bright, it's colorful, and we have people now that just come in and hang out for a while, and that's fine too. You know, we have tons of dog walkers, tons of volunteers, and then obviously, like I said, when people come in to adopt, they're usually surprised if they haven't been here before that it's not a sad, scary building. It's a beautiful building. Bright, and it's easy to find the animals and interact with them, and it's a good place to come.
That is a good place to come. I come here often, just so you know this. My kids and I make a point to come here and scare Mom as much as possible.
Of course.
But this one, I don't know, man. This is going to be tough to walk away from. She is adorable. When we talk also, one of the issues that we deal with here is there's a lack of spay and neutering in the county. So there's a lot of feral cat colonies, a lot of stray dogs that are just down the roads that are not fixed. We have a program that we've implemented here to address that. Can you talk a little bit about, obviously we're in the building here today where spay and neuters happen, but talk about what we do as far as the animals that come into the animal shelter or the public as well, because we do spay and neuter public animals.
So for the shelter animals, nobody leaves unless they're spayed and neutered. That's kind of a rule I put in place that, you know, we don't in the past, they'd let animals go ahead and go home and then set up appointments later, and they didn't always come back. Right. So just nobody leaves until they're spayed and neutered. It just makes everything smoother and nicer. And if we can get them spayed and neutered before they hit the floor, we try and do that. Can't always do that with the numbers that we do. But our public program is for low-income families that live in San Juan County. And they have to bring in proof of income and proof of residency to show that they live in San Juan County and meet the income requirements. And then the price of the surgery is based off what the household income is. But it ranges from free to up to $85. So our public program is actually very popular. Yeah. Back in February, we spayed and neutered our 5,000th public spay and neuter animal.
And how many years?
We started the program in April of 2014. So in less than 4 years, we did 5,000 animals.
That's incredible.
For the public. So we do those on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're actually booked out for quite a ways because it's a popular program, but we get people in as fast as we can and get them spayed and neutered and give people an option if they have an animal and just can't seem to afford it, or if they have too many animals, to prevent more from coming, let's get them spayed and neutered. But the program is, like I said, very popular. We're happy to help. It's, our medical staff does wonders and wants to see those animals spayed and neutered too.
Well, I do, and so if maybe we could talk a little bit about the feral cat colonies as well. Is that a program? Is there a group out there who kind of collects those cats, brings them here? Do we spay and neuter those and then take them back, or is there a mobile?
So it's actually kind of a complicated situation at this point. But so if people were to sign up, take ownership of them and sign up through the public spay and neuter program, we can certainly do them here. Mm-hmm. But because the public program is so popular, we don't have spots set aside just specifically for trap, neuter, return. Okay. San Juan Animal League was working on it for a while, and I think they will start up again. They've just had a few kinks in their program. But San Juan Animal League has been the main driver doing trap, neuter, return for quite a while. And the thing that people don't understand is if you just trap the cats and take them away, it's not really solving the problem. You'll just end up getting more cats in. As long as there's food, water, shelter, something there that's attracting them, right, they're going to keep coming. So when you trap, neuter, return, you trap them, you give them spayed and neutered so they can't reproduce. You bring them back to the area and they act as a placeholder. And that placeholder keeps other cats from coming in. And then eventually the colony will die out.
Shrinks.
Yep.
Interesting. Transferring.
Transferring, yes.
Let's talk about transferring. I know Colorado has a big market. Everybody in Colorado has a dog. It's a really special place to be. Mile High State. I think the Rockies have bring your dog to the park night for the Colorado Rockies. Anyways, that's a big deal. So do we transfer a lot of animals to Colorado and other states?
Yes. So we are lucky enough to have transfer partners which have almost a lack of animals. Like they have more of a demand than we do, and we have more supply than we do demand, unfortunately. So to basically make room and to keep animals alive, we transfer them out. We research all of our transfer partners. We know exactly where the animals are going. If they're not spayed and neutered when they leave here, they will be when they reach their destination. And we go kind of all over, but our main ones are Colorado, Utah, and then down in Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So we do 1,500 to 1,700 animals a year get transferred out. Wow. So if we had to house those animals continuously, we would run out of room. There's a lot of days where we literally transfer 50 animals out and get 30 in that same day. So it's the lifeblood of what we do. Adoptions are huge, transfers are huge, and all of those programs help keep the animals moving and keep cages open for us.
Sure. So we have 7,000 coming a year roughly, 2,600 adopted, 1,500 to 1,700 that get transferred out. Are there any other things that we do to help provide positive outcomes for them?
So our returned owners have kept increasing as well. So those are stray animals that come in that we're trying to get back home, and it helps if they're microchipped or wearing tags. We call repeatedly. We call every day if we can to get the animals back home. If they have microchips, if you haven't updated your information, update your information on your microchip so that we can get a hold of you. But our return to owners have gone up considerably, and that's the best case scenario for us because they're going back home where they know and they love and they're loved. And we don't have to house and care for them or find a different place for them. So our return to owners have also really increased.
Do we microchip here as well?
Yep, so we microchip all the adopted animals. San Juan Animal League is a great partner, and with their vaccine clinics, they also do microchips. So all the shelters in the areas are microchipping. So we're seeing an increase of animals that are microchipped, and they're easier to trace down who they belong to.
Now, I've had dogs my whole life, and I've had dogs end up here in doggy jail. If, as an owner, if my dog is picked up, how long does the shelter keep them, and what could I anticipate in that process?
So if there's no identification whatsoever, so no microchip or no tags, they're only held for 3 days. And the day that they come in counts as day 1. So if you're looking for your animal, you need to come down. If they have microchip or tag with identification, they're held for 5 days. So we have a little bit more time to try and find those owners.
So if they have a tag and they're microchipped, 5 days. If they're not, it's 3 days, and if they're healthy, they're going out for adoption.
Yep.
That's good to know that the first day counts. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
So.
first day counts.
All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else you want to make sure people know about this facility and about the work that you're doing here with your awesome staff? Maybe volunteer opportunities for folks?
Sure. So we have lots of volunteer opportunities. Volunteers are really some of our lifeblood. We have dog walkers that walk dogs. We have some people that come literally every day and walk dogs, but they can take them down for walks at the Animas Park.
Which is right here.
Which is right here,
It's just a perfect place.
Perfect place. So dog walking is really popular. Regular volunteers, we use them for everything for special events and adoption events to helping with the medical department. The medical department can be kind of exciting sometimes. It's a little faster paced. So to help cleaning the kennels with us, and just socialization, making sure the puppies are well socialized and kittens are brushed. And so there's all sorts of volunteer opportunities. And then fostering is also a really big thing for us, which we're continually trying to find more foster homes. That's probably one of our number one things that we would like to see increase, that we haven't seen increase. Mm-hmm. So what happens is we have puppies and kittens that come in when they're too young, and they can't go up for adoption right away. So they have to go somewhere or sit in a metal cage until they're old enough to be adopted. Obviously, we'd rather them be in a foster home. So the foster home provides a TLC. We provide all the medical. We'll vaccinate them, deworm them, do everything, and then when they're ready for adoption, they go up for adoption. So right now we have a maternity ward full of cats and kittens that need foster.
Yeah.
We have mama dogs with babies, baby puppies that need foster. We do some medical fostering as well. So if we have a medical case that we really want to fix and have the capability to fix with our amazing medical staff, a lot of times we'll need fosters, like for heartworm dogs. The treatment's over a month long, so they either have to stay here for a month, which takes up cage space, or if we can find a foster, they'll take them and take care of them for us until we can get the heartworm treatment completed. So
how old do you have to be to volunteer to walk a dog?
To walk a dog, you have to be 18.
You have to be 18.
Yep.
Okay. To foster?
Foster, I don't think there's an age limit, but obviously you have to live in a house or own your house or have landlord permission.
Do we do house checks for people who are interested in fostering, or how does that work?
Occasionally, but usually not. We do have a foster application process, and we ask that they get brought back every 2 weeks for the vaccines and things like that. So it's with the foster parents, it's really a partnership in helping raise these little guys. But fosters, like I said, are amazing, especially this time of year when we have just tons of cats and kittens coming in. It really helps us out. And
fantastic.
And a shelter is no place to raise a family.
No,
it's not.
That's
we
right.
take care of them very well, but if they could be in a home, that's better.
Well, these chugs, what do you call a Chihuahua pug?
The owner said that they were Chihuahua pug mixes, so I think they're called chugs.
Chugs. That sounds like a great dog name to me. You just name them Chug. That's what I would name them. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Stacie. For everybody out there who watches the Mayor's Table, which is growing every week, we appreciate the job that you're doing here and improving the lives of these animals. My family is certainly very appreciative, so thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for upcoming episodes of the Mayor's Table right here on YouTube and Facebook. So we'll talk to you soon.